Hey everybody, Coach Toolshed here. Today's video is not going to be discussing how Bethesda accidentally was forcing people to sign in to play 20-year-old versions of Doom and then went back on it. That is not the purpose of today's video. Today we're going to be discussing something that happened just within the last day or so. Something which is quite troubling and something that keeps happening again and again and again in the industry. And that is, of course, once again, developers and publishers being sneaky and outright lying to the public when it comes to marketing their games. Now, what am I talking about this time? Well, once again, we have Activision up to their old tricks again, and this time it's not with the Call of Duty franchise. Now, I'm sure many of you already know what Activision has done with the Call of Duty franchise over the last couple of years, in which they wait until the review cycle for the game is over. All of the Metacritic scores are in, everything is published, they have their nice little score up there that they love so much, and then a month later, they introduce random loot boxes and microtransactions into the game. And once again, what they're doing now with a rated E for everyone game, Crash Team Racing, they are throwing microtransactions into a game after previously stating that the game would not contain microtransactions. Now you might say, Coach, how long ago did they say that they might not be microtransactions? Because, sometimes plans change and they just can't control these things because sometimes, plans change. Well, this was at E3 2019. Not 2018, not 2017. E3 2019. The conference that just took place like 6 weeks ago. That one. Yes, at that one, they had a hands-down, sit-down meeting with the games media. And at the time, the people who were developing the game told the media that the game would be fully microtransaction free for the entire game. And that the only content that would be paid for would be the game itself, and then if you wanted to buy a collector's edition, it came with some extra skins and then some early access for a couple of characters in the game. But other than that, the entire game was going to avoid microtransactions, and they wouldn't have any microtransactions in the game. And if you go into the storefront for the game, I actually checked this out myself. If you go into, say, the PlayStation storefront, into the PlayStation Store, you will see that next to the game, nowhere does it specify that there are in-game app purchases, unlike all the other games that do have in-game purchases. If you scroll over to the title screen for Fallout 76 or Anthem or Apex Legends or any of those other games, right there it will say contains in-game purchases, but it doesn't say that for Crash Team Racing. So even if a parent knew that this stuff was going on in gaming and they knew that they had to do their due diligence and check this out with the game, even if a parent knew all that and went into the storefront to research this, it would not be available to them right now. Now, the microtransactions don't go live yet, but they do go live in about 30 hours from when I'm recording this. So, you might say, Coach, why do you care? You're not playing this game. Why would this matter to you? It's only optional microtransactions. It's only cosmetic skins. Who cares? Why does any of this matter? Well, anyone who's using these same tired arguments, and I've seen them already. I've already seen people using these arguments once again, defending this sort of nonsense in Activision. Once again, anyone who says nonsense arguments like this, like, it's only optional microtransactions, how do you have a problem with that? You're not even playing the game, why do you care? The reason why I care, and the reason why you should care, to the people defending this, the reason why you should care is because once again, we were lied to as the general public when it comes to the marketing of a game, and we were specifically told that a certain game was not going to contain microtransactions, and then right after the reviews are over, literally just a few weeks later, they jam microtransactions into the game. It's the lying that I have a problem with. It's always been the lying that I have a problem with. You can go back to my videos all the way back into last year and you'll see again and again, it's a common theme. It's not the microtransactions that you have a problem with so much as the lying and the obfuscation and the fact that these companies continue to try to manipulate the media and manipulate the public to get them on their side, and the fact that you have people that are so unbelievably goddamn brain dead that they sit there and defend it with the same tired arguments again and again, despite the fact that these people are just lying to them and everyone. It's unfathomable the amount of apologetics you get from people. I can't fathom the reason at this point. I honestly can't. How can anyone sit there and continue to defend any of these AAA publishers and any of these developers that will look right in the camera and right at the interviews and lie directly to all of us again and again. And Activision is the king of this. They have no qualms whatsoever about going back on anything they said. And we've seen that I just did a video on this topic very similarly just a week ago about Bethesda and the Atomic Shop. Once again, we were lied to for the entire marketing campaign. At least they had the decency to wait a couple of months before going back and proving themselves to be liars. With Activision, they just wait a couple of weeks. And now this is becoming a pattern, because it's not just Call of Duty anymore. Now this is going into more of a mainstream, casual-friendly game. Like I said, this is a rated E for everyone game, and if even though Crash Bandicoot has some nostalgia for people maybe that's in their 30s, this is clearly a game. If you look at the art style, if you look the fact that they're pushing out a dinosaur-themed expansion or update for the next pack, it's clearly geared towards kids. I mean, kids love dinosaurs. If you look at the art style, it's clearly, this is still a kid's game, even though there is the nostalgia factor for people maybe in their 30s. I understand that. But still, the fact remains, this is a rated E for everyone game. It's going to be played by kids. And like I said, even if parents do their due diligence about this game, even if they know about all the tomfoolery and the shenanigans and the nonsense of the AAA industry in 2019, they still wouldn't be able to go in the storefront. Say they went and they're looking to buy this game today as we're speaking, they would have no knowledge of this unless they looked up the current news for the game, which why would anyone do that? No one would do that. And I get infuriated with this stuff on so many different levels. One, you have the sheer gall and audacity of companies like Activision, who just consistently now have pulled this crap. This has been going on for years now with them. And for some reason, the idiot media continues to let them get away with this and continues to sit there while they just get lied to right to their face. Hey guys, at this point, why does no one in the media hold any of these companies to account? Because it's making you look like idiots too, even more, because you're reporting stuff that turns out to be a lie 4 to 5 weeks later. And you keep covering for Activision, and you keep giving their games good scores over and over again. And Call of Duty gets good review scores every single year, and it makes the media look like bigger and bigger morons on a yearly basis. And they just keep going along with it because they got to have that Activision access. They got to get that ad revenue. They got to keep lying to the public so that Activision can keep getting into the top 10 for sales every single time they launch one of their games. And I don't care about Crash Team Racing. I don't like kart racers. I was never going to buy this game anyway. So again, this doesn't affect me personally for this game, but it affects every single gamer everywhere when the market and the public continue to allow this nonsense to go without stepping up and saying something. And for every single person I see in the forums using the same tired excuses, oh, it's just optional. Repeat after me. Optional. Oh, why do gamers get so upset every time microtransactions get mentioned? It's the non-stop lying that we have a problem with more than anything. Do we like microtransactions? No. Do we like loot boxes? Hell no. They shouldn't be in any game. But when we're constantly being lied to, how on earth can anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together sit there and question why a consumer would get mad when they are constantly being lied to all the time? If you're one of these people who's going into comment sections and you're on Reddit and you're in forums defending this stuff, sit down and just sit down. Step away from the internet for a few seconds and just sit down and think about what you're actually defending. Because it's sheer stupidity on your part to defend this stuff. This is obvious anti-consumer stuff. One could say this is clear and obvious false marketing. But of course, nothing ever happens when it comes to that. We're never going to get any sort of legal standing when it comes to stuff like that because gamers are just viewed as a joke. We're a joke consumer base. It doesn't matter that there's hundreds of millions of us gaming throughout the world. We're still viewed as some sort of weird niche market that just doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. But that's why, as consumers, we have to stand up for ourselves. That's why you see videos like this, and you hear people like myself talking about stuff like this, and much bigger channels, obviously, than mine, discussing this stuff. And I know it gets old to keep hearing it again and again, but conversely, Don't you think it gets old for us to have to keep listening to the lies and keep dealing with these industry lies again and again, and then have to listen to fellow consumers defend the idiocy? It's mind-boggling to see how many people will defend this sort of practice. It's truly astonishing how many people are willing to do it. Wake up. Stop allowing this nonsense. Speak up for yourself. Stop getting mad at fellow gamers who call this stuff out. It's absurd to do so. You're fighting against your own best interest. You're clearly fighting against your own best interest. It's not even in question. But somehow, lots of people still question it. And they think that gamers, we're just being entitled again. We just don't like microtransactions. We're so entitled. Maybe if the industry would stop lying and be a little bit more upfront, this wouldn't be an issue every single time it happens. And it keeps happening. Because it's not just Activision. All these big AAA companies are guilty of this crap. They keep doing it. They keep jamming stuff in. It's at the point now where you have to wait probably 6 months to a year with a lot of these games to see if they're actually going to stick by their word. And in some cases, it goes longer than that. Don't forget The Division 1, when Ubisoft and Massive decided, oh, you know what? Yeah, we know we said we weren't going to do any loot boxes, but yeah, we're going to jam some loot boxes in 2 years after launch. Why the hell not? Here we go. It's absurd. I've had it. I've had it with this shit. Anyway, that's it for me, Coach Toolshed. I gotta go sit down. It's been a hot day. It was a steamy hot day, and I was hot and sweaty. And I gotta go cool down. Gotta get the AC back on. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Please subscribe. If you want to stay in tune with the channel, head forward, and as always, keep it turned to 11.